For being here for the weekly Board of Commissioners meeting. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, Tuesday, November the 25th. We're here in the administration building up in, what is this room? Commission chambers. I don't know what the number is. Maybe it doesn't have a number. In the commission chambers. And I am going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. I'm Laureen Kamalu, one of the commissioners. Commissioner Bob Stevenson's to my right, Commissioner John Crofts is to my left. And we now have a chance for public comment if there are any who have come to speak for 2 or 3 minutes to the Board of Commissioners. We'd be happy to have you share at the podium. And please just share your name and the city where you live. Come on up, Drew.
Drew Chamberlain, Layton. We can do this. We're halfway there, so we're going to get this tax increase done away with. So I'm excited about that. And I wrote a song I'm going to play for you. It'll be within my 3 minutes, so you'll enjoy this. Oh.
We don't want a tax increase. We're already up to our knees. Cut spending, waste, and mismanagement. It's a reasonable
You can dance
plan.
if you want.
Vote for option 1. No tax increase. 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 Vote for option 1. No tax increase.
I wrote one for the airport, no taxi increase, but it didn't work. So. But thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? All right, seeing none, we will move on to the item number 1 in the informational items, and this is recommended by our clerk, Brian McKenzie.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a little bit different approach for us on some precinct boundary adjustments. Legislation was passed not too long ago that allows for the county clerk to make minor boundary adjustments to our voting precincts if they are as a result of another political subdivision's boundary adjustments. So we had 2 annexations made by Clinton City and West Point City. So we have made minor adjustments to the Clinton 6 precinct and the West Point 2 precinct just to incorporate those new annexations. The statute does require me to provide notice to the commission, and so this is official notice to the commission that these adjustments have been made.
Very good. Any question? All right, thank you very much, Brian. Now we have approval of meeting minutes, and there are 2 items there. I move approval of the work session meeting minutes for November 4th, 2025, and approval of the regular commission meeting minutes for November 4th, 2025, and that's a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, business and action items, we'll go back to the clerk's office. Number 4 and 5.
Yes, Commissioners, good morning. This first item is a proposed amendment to our to some fees. It's actually a joint proposal from the county clerk's office and the county recorder's office. So I'll be talking on the items from the county clerk's office and then turn the time over to Dakota from the recorder's office to talk about his. Within the established fees of the county clerk's office, we are proposing a $5 increase to our marriage license fee. That includes the cost of getting the license as well as the certified copies when a couple comes in and gets married. We are eliminating the marriage license copy, that's just the standard copy, as most individuals just prefer to have a certified copy to where they have a legal document. So we're discontinuing that. We are adding a marriage ceremony. As you know, we have for a number of years provided a very simple, basic legal ceremony for those folks who are wanting that. This will be a fee to accommodate the staff that are involved in that. Oftentimes that'll take 1 to 3 of my staff to provide those very simple, basic ceremonies. Additionally, we always provide opportunities for the citizens to have a more meaningful ceremony if they want to have a member of their family or a loved one or a best friend or something like that. We have means for them to have that person designated, and there's no fee associated with that. We are also proposing a $5 increase to our passport photo fee. There are a few fees here that are removed and then replaced with the new fee schedule that's been established by the state of Utah as it relates to voter files. So again, these fees for all the voter files, they're not necessarily set by us, but because we are collecting them, we do need to have them in our fee structure, our fee schedule. But those amounts are set by the state of Utah. Overall, with these fee adjustments in the clerk's office, we anticipate next year an increase of approximately $50,000 in revenue that will be coming in as we are projecting those in our services next year. Happy to answer any questions on that part before I turn it over to Dakota.
Any questions?
I have no questions. I make a motion to approve item 4.
Well, I think Dakota's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, Dakota, are you gonna?
And this is
Unless you
our,
don't want to hear about the exciting changes coming to the recorder's office.
and our,
I've read them. Go ahead.
and this
I'll
is our
run through them
deputy
quickly.
director. Thank you.
Yes, as we mentioned to you during our budget presentation for the office earlier this year, we've been working on our cost recovery metrics. And a big part of that is revisiting our fee schedule because the last adjustment to it took place in 2015. As you all know, costs have come up quite a bit since 2015. And our desire to actually recoup some of that revenue and have a better cost recovery environment in our office is reflected in this. The changes are rather simple. They're just a $1 increase to the cost of copies, and they scale based on size. We performed a analysis based on what other counties and recorders' offices specifically charge for similar services, and that's reflected in what we're proposing to you here today. There are 2 things that weren't present in our fee schedule prior to this presentation, one of which is the cost of copies of documents in our vault. Those are older documents that as they're handled, degrade at a faster rate, so that is why you see a distinction between the cost of those copies versus digitized documents. And then you'll also see a preliminary plat submittal review. Our cadastral mappers have been spending a disproportionate amount of their time for years providing guidance services to folks who want to record plats in our office just to ensure that they meet the requirements set forth in state code. Other counties have implemented this service, and it's something that we anticipate will be rolling out in the early stages of next year. But we felt that due to the demand of their time, that it was appropriate to add this to our fee schedule.
Okay.
I'll also answer any questions if you have them.
Any other questions? Looks like there are none. And you, would you like to?
Yeah,
repeat
make a
your-
motion. Yeah, it stands.
Very good. I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carr.
And then number 5, we'll have our clerk.
Second item that I have before you, Commission, is a proposed amendment to our campaign financial disclosure amendments. As you recall, I provided a copy of this back to each of you individually on October 10th with a description of what we were looking at doing here. There's really 3 primary parts of this. The first one was to require a financial report following a political party convention. We have that currently following primary election and general election, but it was brought to our attention that we didn't have it after a convention, which is still a political process. So to add some additional transparency, we thought that would be appropriate to put that there. We also added in some financial report requirements when we have a candidate that is filling a vacancy. This is new statutory language that was passed by the legislature, and so we wanted to incorporate that into our ordinance, so we had that. The third one is actually, I'm going to recommend that we do not incorporate this. It was removing the term office holder throughout the ordinance. It was initially believed that that was redundant and unnecessary, but there is a component when sitting office holder resigns or retires or ends their term of service, we do have a final financial disclosure report and things there. And so if we had removed that, it would have inadvertently removed that requirement. We didn't want to do that. And so my recommendation is we leave that word office holder in the ordinance throughout. And then there were some spelling where numbers were spelled out that were just general cleanup that have been removed from the ordinance as well. With that, happy to answer any questions that you may have.
And this ordinance would take effect on the earliest date possible after Davis County fulfills the provisions of Section 17-53-208 of the Utah Code.
Yeah, which means that after, if approved, we have to publish it and post it, and then there's I believe it's a 14-day waiting period before it actually takes into effect. We're working to get this in place so that we are ready for candidate filing on January 2nd.
Yes. Okay, very good. Any additional
So
questions?
I have a couple of questions on it, Brian. I was wondering if, instead of just having an ordinance, that we have, can't we adopt an ordinance for simplicity's sake, just adopting the state's requirement so that Davis County's ordinance mirrors the state's requirements? That way, if the legislature makes any future changes or whatever, it will still, it'll reflect it, and we won't have to go back and change the ordinance and update it. I guess that what I'm concerned about is what if we have our own ordinance and then the state has another set of requirements for simplicity's sake to the candidates and office holders? Wouldn't it just be easier if we had an ordinance that just reflected what the state said?
For the most part, that's what we've done. The statute requires a county to establish an ordinance, and then it lists certain things that we have to have included as a bare minimum. It also provides us an opportunity to add additional things in there if we so choose. So when we drafted the original ordinance a number of years ago, we did take the statute and we made sure that we had the ordinance in place, which is required. We made sure that we had those minimums in place as well. And then we looked at some of those additional things that we thought would be appropriate. For example, we've chosen to have some additional reporting requirements, some additional reporting periods around the elections and what we just talked about today, post-convention, for example, just to allow for those more regular reporting. So yes, that is an option. I don't know if not having an ordinance or just having an ordinance that adopts the statute is going to do everything that the county has wanted to do with our financial disclosure requirements. And so obviously that's going to be a policy question, but hopefully that helps answer that question.
Do a number of other counties have their own ordinance separate than what the state is? I mean, it's a common practice for that.
It's required by statute that we have an ordinance. Now, what that ordinance looks like, again, as I said, it does require some minimum things, and then it provides an opportunity to have additional reporting requirements or requirements in general if we want. But yes,
Okay.
there are other counties that have ordinances.
That's what I'm saying is, so this is a common practice for counties to add things or whatever as far as that goes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And as I understand it, other counties have an ordinance that basically their ordinance mirrors that of the state ordinance. And so if we adopt this ordinance, we would have a few additional requirements more than state statute requires. Is that correct?
And we currently do. This ordinance is already in place. This is just an amendment to our current code. So yes, currently we do have additional requirements beyond the state requirements.
I don't know how comfortable I feel going above and beyond what the state minimum is. I would, open this up to discussion with the other two commissioners, but I would probably like to table this and discuss it more, have something.
Commissioner, I don't see the need for that. I think, this has been in place. We're amending a couple of things on it. I'd make a motion that we go ahead and approve item number 5, ordinance number 2025-9.
I will second the motion because time is of the essence, and we've had time to have these discussions for several weeks since October 10th, and now it's the end of November. So, I think that adding the financial report after convention is a great idea for transparency. We absolutely value transparency. I believe that that financial report for someone filling a vacancy. That's state required law, you said. And yeah, it makes sense to keep that office holder in for someone's end of service. So spelling cleanup, it's very little changed in my mind. So I have that second, but I can take a roll call vote. So Commissioner Cross.
Yeah, so in the interest of transparency, I'm not strongly opposed to it. I just think that it would be simpler and easier in the future if we could have it reflect the state statute. So, I'm not strongly opposed to it, but I will vote nay.
Okay. And I'm an aye.
Aye.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, here in the Commissioner's office up next, we have consideration of applications for adjustment of property taxes. This follows more law, Utah Code Annotated 59-2-1347. These are typically adjustments where there has been an error on the county side of things, or if it's something unusual in the best interest. Yes, Shauna? Yeah, is that something we've gone over that before?
I've gone over them. I mean, I don't.
I've reviewed it as well, so.
These were our mistakes.
And Andy, thank you so much for being here so that it's refreshed as we need it. As I understand, yeah, we've talked about it quite recently enough that it's still fresh. So,
Yeah, and just to give an example, if anybody's curious on what could be the type of mistake, one of the things that can happen, not going to say on a regular basis, but does happen is once in a while, the notices go out and the people are charged as though they are second homes or whatever instead of their primary residence. And if they're not charged as primary residence, there's a difference in the value as far as that goes. And then when it's discovered that it is a primary residence, then this is where these types of adjustments would be. So
right.
this is an example. So.
And thank you for having our elected assessor here, and we appreciate that. Okay.
I'd make a motion we approve item 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we have our Community and Economic Development Department to present, and our Director Kent Anderson.
Morning, Commissioners. We have 3 items for your consideration today. Item number 7 is a request for approval of a board appointment of Oliver Young from Young Venues to serve on the Davis County Tourism Tax Advisory Board. The beginning date would be 1/1/2026, ending 12/31/2026. They're filling a vacant seat, so that's why it's a 1-year period. We're excited. Oliver Young both lives in the county and is involved in the convention and transportation business, which qualifies for the TTAB advisory. Mm-hmm. Item number 8 is a request of an approval of an agreement with Utah Transit Authority for the Snow Basin Ski Bus Pass Program, replacing contract 2025-1216. All that's happening here is there's an amendment of the start date from November 12th to December 17th. It's a payable in the amount of $49,213, beginning 12/17/2025, ending 4/11/2026. Final item is number 9. This is the last of our 5 mural grants. It is a request for approval of a memorandum of understanding with Clearfield City for the award of a Discover Davis mural grant. It's payable in the amount of $10,000, beginning 11/25/2025 and ending 5/1/2026. Cool piece about this one is they're going to include an American Kestrel, which is a local falcon. They'll have a QR code, and this mural will be part of the Utah Wildlife Mural Tour throughout the state. And both of the Antelope Island that was approved last week as well will be part of that tour. So kind of a fun piece for that.
Yes.
Is Dakota, is he going to draw the mural?
Is he going to draw it? All right. Well, he'd love to.
Well,
I don't
we
know if
don't
that's
want you
enough
to,
to
Dakota.
qualify.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve items 7, 8, and 9 as presented to us by Mr. Anderson.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I love the way the murals are increasing in the cities throughout our county.
Yeah, Meg and I were just talking about the increased popularity that we have and acceptance throughout this community. It's great. This is a 50% match program, so all of the partners had at least 50% match. The Antelope Island actually are doing $100,000, and so we participated with $10,000. So they're doing just a massive, spectacular mural on that new learning center that they're building. So it's exciting.
And Meg,
I, for one, was not aware that Dakota was offering to do these murals, but that's good to know in the future, Dakota.
He's looking at some opportunities for the commission office if you're, he's looking for some training.
and Megan, thank you so much for your efforts. Art has always been something that you've championed, and thank you for that. Okay,
So, thank you.
thanks. All right, next up is Information Systems. Our Director, Jeff Hassett.
Morning, Commissioners. You have in front of you a proposed amendment to our contract with 2023-0032 with Esri for our GIS platform. We did a work session on this a few months ago where Esri came in and wanted $240,000 for their licensing. We did go back to them, got some concessions, and were able to do it for much less with our current licensing. We're still we'll be looking into the best way to move forward as these costs continue to increase for the county and see how we can better serve the county. So this amendment is just for 1 year, which gives us about 13 months to work on the problem. It is for $165,000, and it includes all of our current licensing, and it begins January
17th, 2026.
17th, and then goes through the following January in 2027.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff, for your hard work on this. I have no questions. I move to approve item 10.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes, thank you for working on getting value. Okay, Public Works, our Director, Adam Wright.
All right, today I bring you item number 11. This is Resolution 2025-34. It's a resolution with West Point City for an interlocal cooperation reimbursement agreement. This is for the amount of $103,500, the beginning date 11/25/2025, ending date 12/31/2026. And this is for a stormwater study in Northwest County. That'll include West Point and an unincorporated area with all of the development that's occurring up there. It's in both of our interests to get on top of this and determine what that impact's going to be for the stormwater system up there.
Yeah, that's so great. Are they helping then in some way, West Point? Or they're just,
Yeah, so they're
Cooperating
hiring,
with us?
they're hiring the engineers, they're doing all of the oversight on it, management, and then they'll be implementing it
okay,
in the developed areas, so.
I
yeah.
make a motion, we approve item 11.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much,
you, guys.
Adam. There are a number of consent items that we've had the opportunity to review, and I move that we approve.
Second.
And it was, 12 through 16. I have a motion and a second. Any questions, Commissioner? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. I move that we recess to Board of Equalization.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bob can have that one.
Okay. And we have our Controller, Scott Park.
Good morning, Commissioners. You have before you the property tax register for this week. It includes on the auditor's side 48 appeals, 18 abatements, and 9 corrections. And on the assessor's side, it has 11 corrections. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll present to you the register.
No
I'll
question?
make a motion that we approve the property tax register.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I move we reconvene commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, closing remarks. Anything from the clerk's office? Anything, Commissioner Cross?
Yeah, this morning we had Gary Hatch from the Mosquito Abatement Board come and speak to us basically about the mosquito abatement district and everything that they're doing, and it was really pretty good. So it's nice to have him speak to us in a work session. And related to that, we had an issue that we had an elected official with. Sometimes, you've heard the term that you don't need to take a blowtorch to every mosquito. And I think that if you do take a blowtorch to every mosquito, sometimes you'll set the drapes on fire in the house. And so I think that as elected leaders, sometimes we have to exercise tolerance when we have civic engagement from people in the community. I think that sometimes, community members don't understand all the rules and regulations and sometimes laws. And if they make mistakes, I think that we have to exercise forgiveness and compassion and have to make sure that we don't go take a blowtorch to every mosquito. Because if you take a blowtorch to a mosquito in your house, your drapes can sometimes get set on fire. So I think that in the interest of transparency and in the interest of civic engagement, it's very important that we as elected leaders not threaten people, that we not, try to intimidate people from civic engagement. So I think that that was something that I think is a learning experience for not just community members that want to engage civically, but I think that we should always do everything we can to encourage and promote civic engagement and people, talking to elected leaders and encouraging that. Also, Thanksgiving is coming up, and I would just like to remind everybody that our community has gone through some very difficult times. We had the government shutdown. A lot of our friends and neighbors are hurting financially. Some people haven't caught up on their paychecks yet, and just encourage everybody to be mindful and aware of your friends, families, and neighbors who might be hurting. We also have a large military presence here in Davis County, and my son is currently serving in the Air Force, and there's a lot of military people that don't have places to go for Thanksgiving. So if I may, just encourage everybody to be mindful and thoughtful of our friends and our neighbors and our family and our service members, and I'm sure that a lot of our service members would really appreciate us opening our homes and inviting them over for Thanksgiving. So anyway, with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Stevenson.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you. A couple things that are quick from me. We may have our first Code Blue of the season coming on Sunday night, and we're prepared. And we have so many volunteers. I think there's still more volunteers who can sign up to help. It is my experience that Davis County residents are very giving in their nature, and also that the volunteering is robust. We see that in animal care. We see that in a lot of other places, and that includes Code Blue. So there is an opportunity still to sign up for the season that I'm sure people can sign up for weeks and months, because the Code Blue nights potentially go through all the way through the end of April. But it's often right around Thanksgiving where the first super cold dips happen at night, and so that is anticipated for Sunday night. So there is an incredible effort by the health department over the last couple of years. There is a directory. It is an online directory. It is davislinks.org. There, anyone, individuals and people who see a need for help, to others, organizations, davislinks.org has and continues to connect this entire community with free and low-cost services. We have full-on law enforcement agencies, Clearfield is an example, that have looked into the Davis Links, and they know what it is, and they are prepared to help folks know where there are lots of services available in this county. So just like my colleague has said, it's an opportunity to be aware and to know the helps that exist. We had our Board of Health quarterly meeting this morning. They're always fantastic. We have amazing people who volunteer to be on the Board of Health, and these are, physicians and other practitioners who are expert in their spaces, doing this for free for the people of Davis County. And something that I thought was pretty interesting this morning, Brian Hatch, the director, explained that it used to be that public health authorities throughout the state of Utah were allowed to be very local in their approach. And sometimes that might have been a little bit more that's needed in public health, or a little bit less that's needed, and not be the heavy hand when it's not needed. But there have been changes in state law in recent sessions. And now, once there are public health laws, that local authority is not allowed us as much, that once it's in state law, that's that. So anyway, it's important for all of us to be aware of the legislative process and to engage in the legislative process. It absolutely impacts local governments big time. And I think it's very important for state and local to be very collaborative in the best interest of all of the people that we serve. And with that, I will join my colleagues in wishing everyone thank you so much, Davis County staff. Thank you so much, Davis County residents, for all the good that you do. And I hope you have an incredible Thanksgiving with all your loved ones. We will adjourn at 10:32.